All right. Yeah, back with the demon of drill, King Von. King Von Rat's first serial killer. What, we on part 4 or some shit? But yeah, let's go.
Related to the original shooting at the Varsity. On April the 1st, the victim in the Varsity shooting, Alexander Weatherspoon, would end up being booked into a Chicago jail on unrelated charges of possession of a stolen vehicle. It seemed like the police were slowly getting closer to having something concrete, but King Von just didn't seem worried about attracting the attention of the authorities. In a social media clip uploaded on April the 2nd,
Boy's wild.
2019, King Von recorded himself singing in the back of a car with Lil Durk, dissing dead people like Dooski and saying that they almost killed Wooski.
Here we go again, here we go again, back on the road again, back on the road again, right down the avenue, right down the avenue, we catch you and you through, we catch you and you through. I don't wanna talk to you, I don't wanna talk to you, I don't really with you, I don't really with you. Is I'm shooting right, ain't wrong. Is I'm shooting light, I'm shooting strong. Die, why?
Yeah, the little colorful
Tuga,
paper, man.
Zico, T3, Dooski, Wooski, almost. Fat head,
Also in April, he would tweet saying he's so real he might kill, and posting throwback pictures of him and T. Roy back when they were hitters in Chicago. He would even post a picture of himself with a gun in his waistband and a caption saying his enemies envy him, as well as tweeting about Can't Get Right being killed in the parking lot. Von would tweet saying that he's never the victim, always the suspect. And this is all while police are still looking for a suspect in the Varsity shooting. On the 10th of April, a day before the anniversary.
In a way, it's kind of refreshing to see that, because everyone wants to be a victim nowadays. At least there's one person out there saying, I'm not the victim, I'm the suspect.
K.I.'s murder, King Von would tweet a cryptic message asking if the streets could be his Valentine, saying that they're tired of dying. Then one day after the anniversary of K.I.'s death, King Von would make a biblical tweet, saying, God said to me out of his own mouth to cut her off, grandson, and grandson said, in Jesus' name, amen. Von would even tweet reminding people that even though they see him having fun on Twitter, be careful, because he's still dangerous in real life. He would say that he'll do something to somebody if they go against him, and Von would also release a clip apparently promoting Lil Durk's new cereal, Durkios, telling people to go and buy the cereal whilst waving the clip of a gun. Von would also later tell a woman that he comes with the cereal.
If you ain't order no Durkios at you, like stop playing my mother twin. Order that.
A day later, on April the 16th, 2019, Von is on Instagram Live, mocking Wooski for changing after being shot in the head, saying that Wooski doesn't diss them anymore.
He ain't been the same. He don't talk shit no more, nothing. I don't know what the f. This man talk to me every day. This man ain't DM me no more, nothing. His ass a them bullets be changing them. Man. I hope you watching. I hope you hear this. Your ass up, dude.
That same day, he would tweet that he doesn't chase clout, he actually chases people with guns, and tweeting that Took had died for your enjoyment. He would even tweet about the crimes that he was committing in Atlanta, saying that he's been doing damage on the ship.
This is the crazy thing. It's like 50 Cent said about his story. The reason why his story was so appealing to people was that he's like, I've just been shot 9 times. Come out, sign with them. He's got this album. I mean, the first 50 album is just nothing but gangster shit. So 50 Cent says himself, he's like, the plan for it was basically, you're going to watch me go on some crazy run and then get killed in the end. He's like, but I didn't get killed in the end. He's like, but if 50 Cent would have, he's like, it'd have been the greatest movie on earth. You actually see him. And that's what this shit is. He's right. Like, he died for your entertainment. It's true. People are so entertained by this to the point that Lil Durk's got his own cereal. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got a point. King Von's got a point. If there wasn't an appetite for it, you wouldn't know any of these people. But the fact of what they're doing and saying what they're doing in their songs, people like it. who's the sick person, him or the people that was so obsessed to follow everything, like it happens over here, like say with the beefs in London and Manchester and Birmingham, like literally all over the country, where people literally keeping scores at this point. There's YouTube channels to keep scores of how many each person has killed. Right, this is killings, not like, yeah, that's right.
Chicago streets since he was young, and now he's ready to cause problems elsewhere. #steppers, a sentiment that apparently Lil Durk was in full support of. Durk was giving Von nothing but support during this period. He would make a cameo in the video for Von's track Cousins with Just Blow 600, another outrageously gangster anthem where King Von raps that if his ops aren't outside, then he will find and kill their cousins instead. This is an unbelievable thing to rap considering King Von's history of killing people and their cousins. But the track would have some more seemingly incriminating lyrics, like Just Blow 600 rapping that him and Von are popping pills, riding in the Jeep Trackhawk looking for ops, and killing people after fights. Von would rap that his gang's body count is 24, and he'd rap that he kills women and men and can't tell the difference. And Von would even promote the video for Cousins with a hilarious tweet, telling fans that if their cousin is cool with their ops, to go to their auntie's house right now and kill them. King Von's first tweet after posting that song was warning his ops what he would do to them if he catches them without the police around. A day after that, Von posts a picture of himself eating cereal, and tweeting about having killers that want him dead and killers that look up to him. Von was also feeling generous around this time, tweeting that he had given his mother a Gucci purse and $10,000 cash, as well as openly tweeting that he still robs people. Von would even reply to a troll who asked why he's robbing people when he's a rich, successful rapper, and Von actually replied to this, saying he robs people because he doesn't want to spend his own money, he wants to spend somebody else's. But even if he was robbing, Von would soon have the music money rolling in even more. Von would begin teasing his collaboration with Lil Durk, Crazy Story 2.0, on April 29th. Then the day after this, on April the 30th, Von ends up having a funny interaction with a fan, who replied to Lil Durk's teaser of Crazy Story 2.0, saying that she preferred it when King Von raps on his own. Von would reply to this saying, the song isn't part 2, it's a version 2, and that part 2 of Crazy Story is coming eventually, with the girl then trolling Von by pleading for him not to kill her, with Von facepalming and promising not to kill the woman. I mean, to me, this interaction really drives home just how absurd it is that you've got this celebrity rapper just trying to go about his career and release music, whilst it's widely known that he is a hardened killer and people are tweeting at him, begging him to not kill them too. But regardless, things were going well for King Von, and Crazy Story 2.0 with Lil Durk was due to be a hit. And it seemed like King Von could do with another hit, because he had apparently blown through $150,000 by this point, encouraging fans that they can do it too if they just work hard. Von would also tweet that people talk slick until bullets rip through them. Sadly for Von, the good times would soon come to an end. King Von would return to Chicago for a hometown concert, but this would end up being cancelled on the day, with Von suggesting that somebody was out to get him. And then, on May the 4th, 2019, footage would emerge showing a huge force of over 30 Chicago police officers raiding O Block to arrest King Von, with Von himself being arrested in dramatic footage where he was tackled to the ground, with an enraged mob of his friends accusing the cops of stealing his chain at the scene. And the cops even had to draw assault rifles on the crowd to keep them at bay whilst they arrested Von. In addition to those clips, the full body cam footage of King Von's arrest would later be released.
Stay on the ground. Gang, what the Just don't resist. Don't resist. Gang, why y'all grab me? What the wrong with y'all? We got a car. Let's go. Hey, let me get my money in my train. Hold on, man. Oh, my God. I got it. Get his train. Let's go. Get that door. Chill. No, because you my leg up, gang. Let's go. I'm just going to put him in here. We're good.
Following the arrest, Von would be taken to the station where he would continue to argue with the court.
Jesus, like they did a proper, like police doing a proper military, was it, operation to get King Von. But that must be some scary shit for them old Bill too, to be going into that neighborhood and to arrest someone like Von, who's like obviously loved in that neighborhood.
We got your chain, big bro.
Is there anything on your not supposed to have?
Money.
Oh, no money. Send them. Right? See everything.
My back up, gang. Stop it. That's hurting, boy. What the hell? I ain't used to being tackled no more.
He said no more.
Yeah. Y'all tweaking. I'm grown as hell.
Why you cancel your show today, dog?
Y'all canceled it.
We did.
Yeah, grab my money.
How much you got out of it? Cameras are rolling. So,
I just gotta let you know you're being recorded on body cam and lights.
That's cool.
you not know nothing, nothing?
You just sit the hell in. You
Maybe
get
look at it.
if you do. It was cost too much. I'm doing my shirt. Who tackled me? I ain't got time. You tackled me because look at time.
Yeah, I had to, man. I had to. I seen you. I had to get you out the way quickly.
Why? I ain't the type to do all the extra.
We'll explain everything in a minute.
Yeah.
Alright?
Now, once this all been done, I'm alright. Y'all wrong, but
Well, apologize.
you look at
You're right. At the same time, though, when you get into custody, people that be your mans wanna, especially if you drop some on the ground, you might never see it again. They're your boys. Okay.
Gotta say, them police, like, couple of them, like, they seemed alright with him. Maybe that's just the kind of, that police shit of trying to get you comfortable. But he could, like, come out and was like, yeah, I had to get you out quick, right? Them police weren't too bad with him, to be fair. To be fair, they probably just relieved they're out of that situation.
After Von's arrest, his furious mugshot would later be made public, and he would remain in jail for a significant stretch of time. Lil Durk would react to the news, tweeting "Free Von" with a sad face. But only the week after Von is arrested, something unexpected happened. On May the 11th, 2019, the fourth person who was in the track hawk on the night of the shooting, Hella Bands, would be suddenly shot and killed outside of a Miami nightclub before facing any charges, with a Miami Beach spokesperson revealing that Hella Bands was also wanted in Atlanta for attempted murder and armed robbery. After Von was picked up in Chicago and waiting to be sent back to Atlanta to face charges, 2 days later, on May the 13th, 2019, THF Bezu would also be arrested in Chicago, charged with being a fugitive from justice out of state, once again in connection with the Atlanta shooting. For the meantime, it would only be Von and Bezu in jail, with Durk remaining free and tweeting "Free Von," as well as an RIP to Hella Bands. Von would be transferred to Atlanta to face charges in connection with the shooting on May the 17th. And as usual, his sister ran his social media accounts, keeping fans updated with pictures of Von in jail. But while Von was behind bars, with his mentor Durk free, his career would keep rising in his absence. Only a couple of days later, on May the 20th, 2019, Crazy Story 2.0 drops with that Lil Durk verse. This remix of Crazy Story had King Von and Lil Durk going back to back over the original booming Crazy Story instrumental. Crazy Story 2.0 was a huge street hit, and today sits close to 100 million views on YouTube, and even landed Von his first entry on the Billboard Global 200 chart. Unfortunately, the Atlanta shooting case would also catch up to Lil Durk soon too, with Durk tweeting at the end of May that he was turning himself in, and sitting down for a TV news interview where he revealed that he was turning himself in to face these charges, and that he was also releasing a song called "Turn Myself In."
You're about to surrender as we speak.
Yeah.
How come?
Because I have nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to run from.
You are crazy.
A rapper's ride. Soon after we spoke, Durk.
I'm gonna lie, Durk looks very UK with that tracksuit on. That's a very UK look.
A.k.a. the performer Lil Durk, emerged from his lawyer's space and headed toward an SUV. Soon after that, He stepped out in front of the Fulton County Jail. One of his lawyers says he was swiftly taken into custody there, having swiftly flown back to Atlanta after he found out he was wanted.
We found out we had a warrant. We was actually on tour. Once I heard, I immediately came back.
He's willing to turn himself in and take care of what he needs to take care of.
We immediately canceled the tour.
He's got a multi-million-dollar salary music career going.
Did you do it? Did you shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused?
No.
Warrants involving an incident in February on North Avenue involved charges including criminal attempt to commit murder and aggravated assault. One document indicates an Atlanta police investigator said to the best of his knowledge, Banks was employed or associated with a criminal street gang to conduct or participate in gang activity, shooting at the victim while co-defendants shot and robbed him.
I had a bad background, just growing up as a child, about father being incarcerated for 25 years, 26 years. So I had a rough past, but like me moving to Atlanta, I just thought that just changed my whole identity of thinking.
After Dirk and Von were in custody, an Atlanta judge revealed that they believed that there was enough evidence to charge both Dirk and Von in the attempted murder, and Dirk and Von would be seen in an iconic televised court appearance.
Today, Little Dirk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. The APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the Varsity across the street in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
Apparently, their defense team were looking to put forward a self-defense plea with the suggestion that it was the man who was shot who actually initiated the altercation. Then, after some legal back and forths, Lil Durk would be granted the opportunity to get out of jail on a $250,000 bond. Following this announcement, Durk was seen running out of the jail and telling fans that Von is getting out tomorrow.
We out here. We out here. Yo, what's up? I'm getting fired in the motherfucking pocket, man. They told you 15 minutes, I'm gonna get 30. I'm sitting there. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we were still waiting on the driver to come though. Just hop in. We waiting on the driver. Hey, tell me, hey, you can just stay right here.
Yeah, another car's about to pull up. No, you can just go.
I'm back.
Hey, thank everybody for the love and support.
Yeah, definitely appreciate everybody for rocking out with us, supporting us, believing us, you know.
Everybody that screams free.
Hey, I've been here so long, this Instagram feel fake. Vaughn will be home tomorrow.
Durk was back, and he would eventually open up about his time in jail after his release, with his lawyer saying definitively he is not in a gang.
Then when you get in type of that, in a predicament like this, you would sit back and be like, damn, like why I ain't never do this more? Why I ain't never do this with my kids more? Why I ain't do this with my pops more, or my mama? You know what I'm saying? So it just set me down so I just understand life more.
A member of his legal team says slightly more than 2 months after he surrendered to be booked into the Fulton County Jail, Lil Durk, a.k.a. Dirk Banks, did a book bag giveaway Sunday in conjunction with the Atlanta Entertainment Basketball League, where kids can watch NBA players and others for free. Because it was the right thing to do, though she knows there will be critics.
It ain't nothing new pop up because of the case. We've been doing it.
That he did not do it because of the serious charges he faces after a February incident on North Avenue in which a man was wounded by gunfire, including criminal attempt to commit murder.
We'll fight our case in court.
And a gang charge.
Lil Durk validated himself as having a gang affiliation, right?
Allegedly, right.
Among others.
Being from South Southern Chicago, essentially you have to choose a gang for your safety. You don't choose a gang, you can be killed just for not being in a gang.
Is he currently in a gang?
Absolutely not. He moved to Atlanta to get away from the gang life, to get away from the streets.
Von would also be granted a $300,000 bond, being released on June the 22nd, confirmed by a tweet of course. With Von jumping on Instagram Live, fresh home from jail, and dissing his baby mama for not thinking that he would ever be getting out.
I want to shout out everybody that was on my dick and thought I wasn't coming out, suck my dick. I want to shout out everybody that's talking crazy, like my baby mama now. I've been through some Hey, last called me a hoe, I smacked the Get out of here.
Von would go from jail straight onto house arrest, opening up about his situation on Instagram Live.
I ain't got no good shut off. I can't hear. Damn. I'll be back later.
Part of the bail conditions were that Dirk and Von could not be around each other, as King Von would later reveal in a no-jumper interview.
Yeah, so yeah, me and Dirk, we only see each other like at court, if we got court or something.
But Von and Dirk would still be releasing music together. On July the 9th, 2019, Von and Dirk released their latest collab track, Like That. And despite their legal troubles, Von was still dropping lyrics hinting towards having killed K.I. and dissing Tuka. It's actually crazy to me that even whilst facing serious charges of attempted murder, both King Von and Lil Durk would continue to rap about such true criminality. Lil Durk's experiment in taking the realist gangbanger from his block and turning him into a drill rapper was going too far and jeopardizing his own career. It was only years later, after Von's death, that those charges against Lil Durk for the Varsity shooting were eventually dropped, with the district attorney saying that if King Von was still alive, he likely would have still been charged and facing trial for attempted murder. But in the end, whilst he was alive, King Von...
But you can't get held up on song lyrics, surely. Well, that's got to be some creative. In fact, then ain't that a big thing with the YNW Melly case that's going on, finished, isn't it? But like, he's literally got a song called Murder on My Mind, but they can't use that as actually evidence against him. It's just the same as they can't use King Von's past against him either. Like, even if he'd been arrested and sentenced for murder, you can't use that as evidence that he did it again. Like, at least you can't over here. I don't know about America. But you can't use song lyrics anyway, so what's the... Yeah, I don't see, like... Because you can just say, I didn't do it. That K.I. had a lot of enemies, do you know what I mean? It's just one of them, isn't it? It's like... She had a lot of enemies. She's in a gang. She's a rival gang member or whatever. But yeah, I'll be back in a second, 2 seconds. Alright. Yeah, back. That ain't my arse either. That's the curtain for real. But, what was I going to say? Yeah. He's kind of talking shit about King Von, but I don't know this guy. Trap Law Ross. I don't know him. I don't know what. But I'm guessing he's the same as the ones that we have over here that, like I say, keep a tally of. You have to let me know, did he make his name out of this guy? I mean, did he make his name out of the Chicago beefs and covering them? Like people here, like A Puncho does here. There's another one, but I can't think what it's called, but yeah, let me know. Because if he did, then technically he's as bad, really. Well, not as bad, because granted he's not killing anyone, but he's using people dying for his own personal gain. And then kind of condemning the people that are doing the killing. It's like, well, without that, what would you be? But anyway, that's just a little thought I had on my break. But yeah, let me know what this guy is. If he may just be someone who just like a Lemino or something like that, where they just go in depth into things and topics or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, but then saying that, if his name's Trap Law, I'm guessing he made his name off of the drill beefs.
Would face no real consequences for his involvement in this supposed shooting. In fact, Von would bail out from these charges and continue his career, not even choosing to keep a low profile either. In fact, even with the scrutiny of the police,
not really his style.
States, Von would go on to have one of the most successful runs in the rap game, dropping song after song of violent drill anthems, with the entire world following along and wondering how this multiple murderer just kept getting away with it. Once the hip-hop world saw King Von next to Lil Durk in the courtroom in shackles, he quickly gained a reputation as one of the realest street rappers in the rap game. For some people, seeing Von in court with Durk, one of the most famous rappers in Chicago history, was their first introduction to him. However, for anybody that looked closer into his history, discovering the murder case that he beat, or as many as 7 people he was rumoured to have killed, they would be easily convinced that King Von might just be one of the most deadly and dangerous people to ever pick up a microphone. And King Von wasn't just a killer who had gotten away with his terrible crimes, but he was seemingly willing to rap about them for the whole world to hear. Von's next release after getting arrested with Durk would be his May 30th, 2019 feature on Izzy Blatt's song Straight Facts. With this this track being yet another self-incrimination fest. Von raps on the song that he used to do murder for hire, and he says that he shoots people in the face and is 7-1 on beating murder cases. Von even ended the song saying that the last person that came to his street got killed. With lyrical content this dark, violent, and frankly self-incriminating, it's hard to believe that King Von would go on to achieve mainstream success in the rap game. But his music was undeniably good, despite the murderous messages behind it. He genuinely had a talent for taking these dark experiences he'd had in the streets and making them into songs that painted a vivid picture. And celebrities would soon begin discovering his music and promoting it without a full appreciation of the stories behind the songs. Von would end up getting a huge career boost when basketball star LeBron James' son, Bronny, would jam out to Von's original anthem, Crazy Story, with Bronny even passing Von's music to his father, who reportedly would end up becoming a fan of playing Von's music during his workouts. While Von spent close to 2 months in jail in connection for the attempted murder in Atlanta, he would spend some of that time behind bars writing some of the biggest songs of his career. And when he got out, he would go on the run of a lifetime, taking over the rap game with his new songs and buzzing reputation as a real shooter. Priming fans for the upcoming release of his debut mixtape, Grandson Volume 1, Von promoted it with an Instagram post pondering if the people he killed spirits follow him around until he dies, and also tweeting that by the time people work out what he's done, it will be too late and his mixtape will be out. The tape's lead single, What It's Like, dropped on September 2nd, 2019, and the music video for that song would feature that video of his ops saying that he was responsible for the killing of Can't Get Right, as well as footage from his arrest in O-Block and courtroom footage from the Atlanta case with Lil Durk. This song is an introspective and deep track about what it's really like living the gang life in Chicago. Von would rap about getting to jail and being given knives to defend himself, ops trying to work out who killed their friends, and rapping that when he was in jail, he caught somebody who killed one of his friends and beat them up, even saying that he was in jail with D. Rose, that same shooter who was allegedly at the scene of the Lil Mark murder with Von, rapping that he was there in a cell when D. Rose got sentenced to 40 years in prison for a 2014 murder of a teenager, with Von rapping that witnessing D. Rose get sentenced to all of these years really hurt his soul. Von would end that song with a heartfelt outro, saying that the same cops that locked up his friends D. Rose, C-Day, and Rondo No. 9 told him that they were out to get him too after he caught his murder in 2014. Von said that the cops were trying to catch him and his friends like it was a game, but really...
You know the police didn't like the fact that he was like so big, and that's the thing. He can rap. Like, I'm not the biggest drill fan. Certain artists I listen to, but like it's just like I'm just that bit too old for it. I think, like, especially when like most of the drill artists, they're probably, to be fair, they're probably my age, maybe a bit younger, probably. I don't know. But like, when you hear that the drill is like 15, 16-year-olds, it's just kind of. But King Von can rap, like legit rap. Like, I actually like. He's probably the first drill artist that, like, especially American. There may be a couple over here, Lucy and Digga D I like. But in terms of American, it's probably King Von was the first person I actually liked how he rapped. Like, he raps. It's not that drill kind of disjointed thing. He raps.
It was just Von taunting those cops who were never able to catch him for the things he'd allegedly done. Ironically, just the day after dropping a song about the cops trying to arrest him, the cops would arrest Von for battery on September 3rd, 2019, after apparently beating up a man who called his girlfriend Asian Doll a bitch in the studio, with Von admitting openly on Instagram Live that he just beat somebody up for his girlfriend.
Somebody called my girlfriend a bitch today. Tell him what happened to my hand, bro.
Folks overbeat his ass.
Von would be in jail and not posting to his own Twitter account for just over a month. But while he was inside, his music kept on releasing, all in the lead up to his Grandson Volume 1 mixtape. On September 10th, 2019, Von would appear on a song called For a Fact with another rapper called Sim Santana. And on this song, Von would rap that he's killed and would do it again, as well as a lyric where he says that all of his bodies are headshots, and that tweeting about the murders has attracted the attention of the cops, as well as lines about catching ops and killing them by bus stops, seemingly a reference to the death of Little Mark. But it would be 3 days later when Von would bless the fans with the song that they had been truly waiting for, as Crazy Story Part 3 was finally released. This was another op-shooting storytelling anthem, and the most significant release leading up to September 19, when his Grandson Volume 1 mixtape would come out. This was a roaring debut for Von, with the project landing at number 75 on the Billboard 200. And this project had some crazy song concepts, like the track F Your Man, which is a love song, where Von raps about seducing a woman with a boyfriend and vowing to kill him for her, along with numerous lyrics about killing ops and catching bodies, as well as shooting up funerals. He also had another song with Lil Durk called Twin Them, where Durk says that Von shoots people, and that they got caught shooting on camera with no masks on, seemingly a reference to their Atlanta shooting case. Von raps outright that he tries to kill people, ironically saying that he can't speak on what he's doing because the feds are watching him, whilst rapping about what he's doing on his Billboard charting mixtape. He also had the
rapping
love
don't mean
song
shit.
No Flaws, where he sings to a woman about how dangerous and handsome he is. He also had a song Mama's Boy, where he says that his mother is who raised him into the robbing savage that he is today. He also references beating up K.I. on the train on this song. Von was putting out a lot of bold statements on this project, and surprisingly, with all of this coming out whilst he was still behind bars. Eventually, Von would get out of jail on October the 10th, 2019, being released and returning to Twitter immediately, continuing to push and promote his new mixtape, as well as announcing that he would be going on tour to perform his new hits live. And Von would go on to play huge shows with his fans going crazy, and he would waste no time beginning to tease new music soon after his mixtape dropped, specifically the first single of his next project titled 2 AM, a song where Von rapped the brazen lyric, "Can't put no more guns in my videos, cause the ATF and DEA know they ain't props." And after this release, Von would claim to be receiving multi-million-dollar record deal offers. But while Von was getting more and more famous, so too were the rumours of him being a real killer, and his incriminating lyrics weren't helping matters either. During this period, it seemed like Von would simultaneously be claiming to have really done all of these murders in his music, but then at other times, being desperately trying to convince his following that he never did anything. On his November 29th release, the song Rollin' with fellow rapper and accused double murderer YNW Melly, Von would rap that he has killed so many people they should call him Rambo, and saying, "I did it, but it wasn't me," which perfectly sums up his attitude during this time, jumping on songs and saying over and over again that he really is the killer they say he is, and then jumping on Twitter to say that he would never do anything like the rumors say he did. He would tweet after this release saying that somebody is trying to send him to jail every day. And in December, Von would appear prominently on Lil Durk's Family Over Everything compilation album for his OTF record label, with the front cover of this project ironically resembling a suspect board for a criminal investigation, with Von positioned as an underboss under Lil Durk. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the feds just downloaded this image and added it to the case file. But a few days later, on December the 14th, Von does a post on social media saying that he is all these dead people want to talk about in heaven. Rest in piss to the goofies. I wouldn't be the savage I am today if it wasn't for y'all. It seemed like Von was really getting more and more comfortable saying that he was a killer publicly. The following week, on December the 21st, 2019, Von does a feature for the rapper Lil Loaded where he raps that he put that boy in a box. But not long after this song dropped, Von would go live on Instagram in the car telling fans that he has bodies, and even going as far as to ask them to guess how many people he's killed, and asking the fans if they think that it's more than 5 bodies, and even seemingly swearing on O.D. Perry's life that he has killed more than 5 people.
Body into a top. And I got a lot of bodies. Tell them I got a lot, BJ.
They know.
Just free, how many y'all think? Let me stop there. Nah, you can't.
Hey, look.
How many though?
What y'all think? Or y'all think his ass all cap?
More than 5.
Well, y'all think his ass all cap?
More than 5?
Maybe he cap.
I'll take it out. I'll take it to out.
Oh, yeah, it's sorry.
Oh, more than 5. Ah, shut up.
Saying numbers.
They put numbers up there. They put numbers up there. No, I'm just playing, man. We trying to stop playing.
Really talk. You know.
Hey,
y'all get off that scary shit, y'all.
Hey, what band is that?
Y'all getting scary. Stop being so scary.
They go, get out! I'll be damn!
Von was either feeling invincible or just being completely reckless. He would tweet a couple of days after Christmas 2019, beat the odds time and time again without doing no funny stuff. Staying 10 toes. I done chased and beat up the guys that you were claiming was gangster, and I got fans all over the states. One of the realest and rawest people you'll ever meet. You're welcome. as well as saying F his dead ops. Going into 2020, Von was still winning, tweeting that it now costs $20,000 to book him for a show, and then announcing a huge booking opening for G Herbo on his PTSD tour. Clearly stacking that paper, in February, Von was going live in the bank, making a large deposit, impressing the bank manager.
Posting that crazy in this. What's up, my? You good? Yeah, good. They feeding. Ain't nobody with you, is it? On his ass. Nobody safe.
But soon Von's bank account was about to go to the next level, because at the end of February, he would release one of the biggest songs of his career, his hit track, Took Her to the O. Another storytelling type track with a catchy chorus where Von shouts out O Block. But this time, it wasn't some random made up story. This was a song all about him meeting a woman who leads him to his rival from Tuckerville turned rapper, FBG Duck. Von ends the song saying that he shoots Duck, literally rapping that he killed him and left him on the curb, with this supposedly fictional FBG Duck murder scenario being reenacted in the music video of the song too. The day that Von released the video, he would tweet saying that everything he says in his music is made up and that he's just rapping to make money for his family. And I'll be honest, I believe this is where we see Von's psychopathic tendencies really shining. Not only had he seemingly killed people and occasionally attempted to deny it on Twitter, but this time he had actually made a whole song and an entire narrative music video about him personally killing FBG Duck. This is someone he had openly been embroiled in a deadly feud for around a decade with at this point. Von was literally making videos.
But that's gangster know really what he's doing with the, is it Michael Franzese? Or was it Sammy the Bull where they said the art of being a good gangster is to appear like you have limits to what you do to get what you want, but not actually have any limits to get what you want, if you know what I mean. So appear like you're someone that has limits, that will put limits on themselves, but be someone who doesn't. And Michael Franzese is probably the greatest example of that, because he just seems like such a nice guy. But I've seen a couple of times where that look come in his eyes, where you're like, some people saw that look in his eyes before they never saw anything else again.
The story of how he was going to kill FBG Duck, all while claiming on Twitter that his lyrics were just entertainment. But apparently they weren't, because allegedly behind the scenes, Von had put $100,000 of his hard-earned rap money up as a bounty on FBG Duck's head. This is the kind of behaviour that makes me feel King Von really was a serial killer, because no amount of success in the rap game was enough for him to stop killing people. Instead, his compulsion to kill, or at least to commission killings, was just too strong. He would continue to allegedly use his resources to have people killed behind the scenes, all while attempting to maintain a somewhat clean public image, despite all of the music that he was releasing celebrating murder. The video for Took Her to the O would get 1 million views in 24 hours, and at this point Von was really one of the hottest prospects in the rap game, and fans would be hungry for his next full-length release, which came on March the 6th, 2020, when he dropped his new mixtape, LeVon James.
Hold on 2 seconds, I need another break. It's hot as fucking England. But yeah, so alright. Yeah, let's carry on. Let's go.
After the famed NBA legend LeBron James, who had become a fan of Von's music along with his son. And Von would troll his ops by even purchasing a promotional billboard for the project on 63rd, as well as releasing Not From 63rd merchandise. Unfortunately for Von, however, the project itself would end up debuting precisely at number 63rd on the Billboard charts. Sometimes I see stuff like this and I just feel like it must have been God just making fun of Von for all of the bad things he did in his life. Because this was his biggest career achievement, but you know he must have been furious to have ended up charting at the one number that he despises. And Von would never even publicly acknowledge or tweet the chart performance of this mixtape, probably for that reason that it went 63rd. But landing at 63rd on Billboard was still a great performance for a relatively new artist with such violent and raw content. The project itself will be laced with more aggressive drill anthems, like the track Down Me with Lil Durk, where Von raps about getting doctors to bring people back to life so he can kill them again, and killing so many ops that the surviving ones don't have any friends left. There would also be the song Broke Ops, where he seemed to reference calling for the hit on Can't Get Right. Then there was the track Don't Wanna Be Me, where Von explains that his mindset growing up had to be either him or me. He'd reminisce on hearing gunshots the night he moved into O Block as a child, and his experience growing up around killers and criminals and having to fight every day. He would rap about being devastated at the loss of his right-hand man T-Roy, and explaining how losing Sherroyd, OD, and Platoon turned him into a killer in 2012, ultimately describing the gory details of the bloody couple of months of killing that he was allegedly involved in 2014. And during this time, Von also begun to post pictures of his friends from O Block posing with large wads of cash and referring to them as Get Back Gang Entertainment, further blurring the lines between the music and the real gang killing people in the streets. A week later, Von would appear on his girlfriend Asian Doll's song Pull Up, a track with jaw-dropping lyrics where Von claimed to have killed 7 people in total at this point, saying that if he catches 3 more, he's at double digits. A day after that released, Von would tweet that girls hook up with him just so that they can say that they were with a killer. Next, he appeared on the song Get Back Mode with O Block veteran Boss Top, where he rapped that he was stacking up bodies like Tetris. All of these murder anthems were doing numbers, and the money was rolling in for Von. He would graduate from buying his mother...
It's a real crazy thing, isn't it? That, like, it's the same as girls around there. They'll go out with the most violent person. Maybe, like... yeah, it's weird. It's weird, but it's a fact. Like, girls want to be with a killer, especially nowadays.
Purses, soon flexing on Twitter that he had just bought her a brand new Mercedes and large suburban home. Von's career was going from strength to strength, and he was showing no signs of letting up. On April the 29th, 2020, he would drop his new single, Grandson for President, coming with lyrics where he says that they're trying to blame him for all the unsolved murders in his city. He'd rap that he's trying to kill all of the ops, and he would end his verse saying that he could kill you by rapping on the beat, or by shooting you in the street. And Von would promote the music video for this song on Instagram, adding a caption with 7 skulls, asking people how many they have, sparking speculation that this was him cryptically telling the world once again that he had killed 7 people to promote this song. A few days later, he appeared on the song Body Count with Mozzie and G Herbo, rapping that if you have a few bodies, everyone will know. A couple of days later, Von would tweet that he can't get a job now because he has more bodies than TK, a teenage rapper who got 55 years for murder. Von would also tweet that he's done more hits than made hit songs. And then, on May 21st, 2020, a vlog was released which showed Von going back to O Block, aka Parkway Gardens, to hand out wads of cash to his gang. And it would later emerge that Von was providing drugs and guns to his old hood and splitting the rewards with his crew, providing them with jewelry and luxury vacations in exchange for their work in the streets. Von clearly didn't care about broadcasting his activities to the world, and eventually, people began to take notice. On May the 22nd, YouTuber Trap Geek releases an iconic video on King Von titled The Soft Spoken Assassin. This video essentially...
What is all these geeks popping up? Like, it's something you never got back in the day with gangs, innit? Well, obviously, because it weren't there, but like, it's crazy. You got gangsters tweeting that they kill people, and then you got little geeks covering it and making a name for themselves.
Broke down Von's violent past and his rise to the top of the rap game.
One murder of a kid named Modell, allegedly, according to the internet detectives on Reddit, has King Von's name written all over it.
And Von didn't seem to initially appreciate the attention, tweeting that the videos these white people are all making about him aren't true and calling them the cops, or 12. However, a month later, Von seemed to have a change of heart, and he would actually begin to use that nickname that Trap Geek gave him as a caption on his Instagram, declaring himself to be a soft-spoken assassin. 2 days later, Von tweeted that he still has people on his list, presumably referring to a list of people he still wants to kill. And it seems that the biggest name at the very top of that list was FBG Duck. Von had been going back and forth with Duck since high school and had a years-long grudge against him. He'd had a Twitter exchange with Duck the day before he'd allegedly killed KI, who was a close friend of Duck's, an exchange where Von said that he was also looking for Duck. In fact, a couple of months after King Von had released the music video for Took Her to the O, that video where he played out his fantasy of killing Duck, Duck would go live saying that he beat up Von on the school bus back in the day.
Beat your ass on the bus on Tuga.
Duck would also tell Von that he's only famous because of Lil Durk.
You come up under dirt. When y'all get mixing as Lil Durk homies.
But here's where things get chilling, because as Duck continues to mock Von in what seems to be a disrespectful, but at least not entirely death-threatening way, Von would pop up, following along live and demonically commenting on Duck's Instagram names of people that Get Back Gang had seemingly killed, and continuing to insult him throughout the entire live. It seemed like Von was plotting on having Duck killed for years. In November 2018, King Von would be on live, apparently in Lil Durk's Atlanta home, expressing his desire to see FBG Duck dead, saying that he would perform at his funeral whilst eating some cereal.
Yeah, cereal be busting so. They say King Von featuring FBG Duck.
So that's what they want to see, huh?
Stop that, man. I'll perform at his funeral.
We now know that Von had allegedly put up a $100,000 bounty.
Maybe when he was saying all the serial killer stuff, or the cereal, he actually meant Lil Durk cereal. just promoting the cereal.
On FBG Duck's head, and funnily enough, Von tweeted throughout his career that his main goal was simply to make $100,000. And when Von was finally rich, less than a month before Duck was killed, he would tweet, "Von got the money, so Von gonna pay it to his brothers." And he would also later rap on the song Me and Doody Low that he gave out 100, so you can bet that they're coming. In July 2020, Von would also show off O-Block chains that he had purchased for his friends from the famous hip-hop jewelry store Icebox, something that we now know may well have been an incentive provided to Von's shooters to continue to catch bodies for him. And soon, we would see the tragic reality of this situation playing out on the streets of Chicago in real time. On the afternoon of August 4th, 2020, FBG Duck is shopping in the Gold Coast, a place that's been described as the Rodeo Drive of Chicago, a high-end and high-profile tourist shopping district. After being given Duck's location, 6 shooters were sent from O-Block to kill him. They were Charles Liggins, aka C-Murder, to Carlos Offord, aka Los Munna, Marcus Smart, aka Moowop, Christopher Thomas, aka C-Thang, Kenneth Robertson, aka Kenny Mack, and Zell Munna. After being provided with his location, 2 vehicles end up 30 minutes away from O-Block, pulling up to the location where Duck had been shopping. Then, at about 4:37 PM, Duck would be confronted outside of the Dolce & Gabbana store by a group of masked individuals popping out of 2 cars and opening fire on Duck in broad daylight. A man and a woman who were standing with Duck at the time of the shooting were both injured, but fortunately survived. And someone would even post a 12-minute video depicting the crime scene immediately after Duck's death, with Duck being seen writhing in pain on the ground in the final moments of his life. Once again, this situation just drives home the destruction these killers were so willing to inflict on the streets that they lived in and to the fellow citizens who lived there with them.
I'm in the Gold Coast right now. They shot FBG Duck, man. I don't know who shot him, man. I just ran into this, y'all. Man. They shooting in the Gold Coast of Chicago, bro. Chicago is not a safe place to be. You cannot even go downtown and enjoy your day without violence, bro. Look at this, bro.
That's the thing is, was it Eminem, wasn't it? Eminem, someone broke into his house. He lives in a security mansion, a securityed up mansion in a a gated mansion in a gated community. That should make you think you're safe, but someone managed to get in his kitchen. It's an illusion of safeness. No one's ever safe, ever. Anything can happen at any time, right? Yeah, no matter where you are, just because you go to a nice place or whatever. In fact, a nice place is more likely where something bad's going to actually happen to you.
Look at this, bro. That's a Chicago rapper, man, by the name of FBG Duck.
After Duck's passing, this brazen, broad daylight hit would make international news, with reporters comparing the killing to a Chicago mob boss hit from the 30s.
On August 4th, 2020, it looked like an old-time outfit attack here on Chicago.
Yeah, John Gotti, Sammy the Bull, shooting, what's his name? The boss at the time, whatever his name was. Anastasia shot in the barber chair, like all these famous hits that just happened in broad daylight, like mafia ones.
Street, 2 attack cars, 4 shooters, and a hail of bullets. But the target wasn't a 1930s gangster, he was a new millennium rapper, FBG Duck.
It would appear that only 7 minutes after the killing of FBG Duck, King Von would tweet a goat emoji, seemingly congratulating himself for pulling off a hit that he had wanted to do for more than 10 years. This was quite possibly the 9th murder that King Von was responsible for, and the 11th that he had allegedly been connected to. And perhaps Von soon realised that he shouldn't be celebrating this one too hard, because the following day he would tweet denying being involved and saying that everybody blames him. Von would later tweet that him and Duck settled their differences before his death, suggesting that they were even going to make a song together. This to me seems like an obvious lie, once again showcasing the psychopathic tendencies that King Von had when it came to killing. In public, he would say anything he could to take the heat off himself and appear innocent, but behind closed doors, he had allegedly plotted, paid for, and was celebrating Duck's murder. Von and other O-Block affiliates would go on to release song after song referencing the murder of Duck. The day after Duck's death, King Von and Dirk dropped their new song, All These N-Words, a track which doesn't have any specific lyrics pertaining to Duck, but in it, Von would rap about having bodies from way back, and the song's release essentially served as a victory lap for Von, Dirk, and anyone else who would have been happy about Duck's demise. OTF's Doody Low would reference people getting killed whilst shopping on the song Me and Doody Low with King Von saying outright on the track that he gave out 100,000 and sent his boys coming, as well as saying that somebody got left shot in public before being rushed to the hospital. With these 4 lines of rapping, Von essentially broke down the entire hit and the price he'd allegedly paid for it to happen. Von would also rap on the song Don't Miss with DQ that Duck got nailed, no hammers, as well as lyrics that seemingly refer to the funeral shooting and the killings of Modell and Doc. On the posthumously released track Shameless remix with Boss Top, Von would also rap that he's ducking no beef, and even Lil Durk would later release the song Should've Ducked, dissing FBG Duck and saying that he's smoking him. Lil Durk would take things to the next level, even joking with country music star and collaborator Morgan Wallen that he loved duck hunting. This would lead to Wallen posting duck emojis on Durk's post and later being forced to apologise after being informed that he'd actually been tricked into dissing Lil Durk's dead ops. After FBG Duck was killed, it seemed like King Von and his team truly felt invincible. And pretty much from here until the day he died, King Von didn't seem to care who knew about the killings he was allegedly responsible for. In his music and on social media, he would troll endlessly and hint towards him and his friends being real killers, seemingly oblivious or just not caring that the whole world was beginning to learn what he had done. In August, Von is on Instagram Live with DQ from O-Block saying that there's no more FBG.
All that dissing or saying something or even acting like y'all with some that y'all know for sure ain't with, I'ma smack that on y'all. I ain't gonna play like that. Yeah, we know y'all ain't gangsta, y'all on the internet. We know y'all ain't gangsta, y'all ain't trying to do that. Ain't no more FB. Ain't that right, Big DQ? Ain't that right?
Von would also tweet that he knows the police have his phone tapped, and that all they'll find out is that he gives people money every day. Money for what though, Von? Von would also go on to tweet that 63rd was no more, and another saying, "You heard what they say I did, but I did worse," indicating that Von had done even more crimes that the public didn't know about. After this, we would see one famous example of King Von's crimes catching up with him in the music industry. He had actually been booked to perform at rap music festival Rolling Loud in 2020. However, the pandemic of 2020 would shut that down and see the festival unable to go ahead in person. So instead, Rolling Loud would end up hosting a digital live stream event with rappers in September of 2020. And as part of this event, King Von would be interviewed in a shocking segment where the hosts were asking him questions that had been sent in from the comments, with some bright Chiracologist submitting a question to the unsuspecting hosts, who would read it, asking Von if he would ever collab with names of people he was rumoured to have killed. With Von even being so amused by this question bringing up his old bodies, he would even go and find his trusty shooter Muwop, putting his face on camera to show the reaction to these clueless interviewers dissing their dead enemies.
They want to know if you do a feature with Modell, P5, Malcolm. You know them? Nah. Alright, never mind. He already told us about Tuka. He said Tuka one of his favorites to work with. They want to know about the Gleesh Place video.
Oh, Gleesh Place coming soon. And I'll do a feature with all of them. Tell them just send them money.
Yeah, we need that bag. 100 racks. 100 racks a feet.
I don't think they got it.
My boy charging 100 racks.
Don't get me started on this. I be ticking. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know. I be ticking on this. Say the names who went through the features again.
He'd have to scroll up. I can't even see that.
Y'all listen to the names he said went through the feature.
We'll get a clip of it and we'll send it to you.
Alright, tell me the names. Listen to the names he said want to do a feature with.
They want to know if you'd ever do a song with Young and Ace, Jada Youngin, and K. I don't know who that K artist is.
No, say the other names you said.
You gotta scroll up so I can read that. Can you do that for me? Hold on. It was. No, scroll up a little more, If you do a feature with Modell, Tyreek, P5, or Malcolm.
Look out, folks, look.
That's a no, right? I'm assuming that's a no.
Hey, supposed to talk to you know some police.
I don't even. Who are those? Am I supposed to know who they are?
Man, them people is dead. You bogus. Nah, I'm just playing. What's that? Let's go to the next question.
No, that's crazy. They had me violate like that.
Hey, you with that? Fuck 63rd. Nah, I'm just playing.
The day after this, Von would tweet.
You can kind of see that, like, Von was even wild for the people he was around. You see that, but then that other mate, he looked older. Not the one he had next to him, but the one in the white t-shirt. I think he had the white t-shirt on. He looked a bit older and looked a bit like Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be around someone that hot. Like, it's funny, but you don't want to be around someone that hot.
Saying who wants clout? If you diss Von, he will put you in the clouds. Possibly another reference to FBG Duck's murder, whose nickname was of course Big Clout. A day after this, Von would take to Instagram Live, saying that he's tired of people judging him because of YouTube videos about him.
Yeah, I think y'all know me because I watch YouTube and y'all listen to what these people telling y'all stupid on. Oh yeah, y'all listen to what the people telling y'all. Them people trying to make bad wham. Them people trying to make them over there. It's cool. It is. If they gotta do, motherfucker, I do what they gotta do. Y'all don't know me. I ain't on no super tough, no super gangster. That's just what's going on. That's what I am. That's what's going on. So I'm laughing, I'm smiling around here. Cause I'm super gangster.
This was an epic Instagram Live where Von would go in depth on a lot of things, showcasing both sides of his personality. He would say that he's really a gangster like the videos say, but that he's also smiling about it because it makes him laugh, before also reminding fans not to play with him because he really is dangerous.
I'm super gangster. I'm like that, but I ain't on that. You see what I'm saying? I'm smiling, I'm playing with y'all. But don't play with me like that. I don't play with nobody like that for real.
King Von would tell his fans that him and his O-Block homie Louis kill their ops.
King your la op. Dick sucking ass on King Dave. Got to fucking with them niggas on King Dave, okay? Don't trip. We ain't even gonna talk about that no more. I wish Louis would rah. Nah, this little Look at Louis Goop.
At this point, Von is seemingly hyped up and begins to ask the audience which ops he should talk about.
Man, who has to talk about on this? I'm on the road today. I'll come right out there today. Who to talk about? Drop a name on my.
Von goes on to say that people are just mad because he's tough and handsome, and because he knows that he did violent things to people who are in the comments on this live, with Von even going as far as to say to his viewers, if he did something to you or your family, comment below and he will pin it.
Hey, you be hating, I know you be hating on me, I know you be hating, because I look like this, and I'm tough like I am. Ah, yeah. That shit hurt. And I did on here. I seen what I did too. Yeah. That shit hurt. I got to say y'all name on it. Y'all gonna get looking. I got to comment and I'ma pin y'all if I did something to you. Let's see how far this guy. So be you ain't do shit to me. My cousin maybe. Or if I did something to somebody, nah, this man. We making this street look good. Man, this street all bad on King Dave. I done lost everybody on phone. Now, yeah. Everybody dying, everybody in jail, everybody dead. I'm here at the lawyer.
Von was really careless during this period of his life. He really comes across as if he never thought he would get caught, or as if he simply didn't realise that the whole world was listening to him. He would continue to tweet, saying that he would be ready to drop soon, and asking fans what they want him to drop. The song.
Truth is, some boys really be like that, right? They don't care. I know boys like that. Like, they will, in front of a whole party of people or a whole group of people, they will stick something in someone's face. Like, they just won't think twice about it, and if they go to prison, they don't care. It's like, that's what he seems to me. You just don't care.
Or an op. Then on the 4th of October, another.
In fact, he probably didn't even think he'd make it this old. It's what it is.
Live of Von would surface, showing Von getting off a plane with one of the shooters accused of killing Duck, Muwop, with Von even telling fans that Muwop has all type of bodies.
This Muwop, he crazy. He got all type of bodies. No, just player. Come on, Muwop. My mom, come on. My bodyguard. Come on, bodyguard.
On October the 9th, Von drops the song I Am What I Am with Fabio Foreign, rapping more lyrics seemingly referencing the murder of FBG Duck, aka Big Clout. The same day, Von would tweet, bragging to have done everything people say they did in the streets, and in Von's case, getting away with it. Then, on October the 14th, 2020, Von releases a song called Slide with another rapper called Yak Yola. This song is a reinterpretation of FBG Duck's own hit song of the same name, Slide. But of course, Von would use his version of Slide to mock Duck. 2 days after that, he would tweet the word duck with a love heart and a picture of himself ducking his head down. Clearly, all of Von's brazen activities in the streets and online were indeed making him the target of an investigation, because also in October, Von is at the airport when he was seen on social media being searched by the police and getting angry about the fact that he was being targeted.
I can get your ID one more time?
Take a picture of my badge.
Now, y'all want to search me for what? I can get yours, sir? This is real quick. You took a picture of my ID, man.
You already took a picture, man. Keep it moving.
What y'all trying to search me for?
You're blocking the path for
All right.
passengers to get through, so you gotta keep it moving.
Police all on my dick. What the f wrong with these people? They took out and searched my bed for some drugs, all type of. Hey, matter of fact, look. This took a picture of my ID, got my address and everything. This man, I don't know this man. You see what I'm saying? You can remember his face. King ball head up. I don't know what the f going on. I got plenty of time out.
Von would share a picture of the officer who searched him to Instagram, even tagging superstar hip-hop lawyer Drew Findling, who also defended Donald Trump. But clearly, Von wasn't worried, because the same day that footage was going around, he would also tweet that he has bodies from way back, perhaps taunting those very cops who were stopping him at the airport trying to solve these murders. Around this time, King Von would also do an interview where he seemed to suggest that he was making the most of his career because he knew the cops would eventually work out what he'd done and put him away.
I'm trying to go crazy real quick, but the feds come.
What?
But not one to let some meddling cops get in.
Yeah, I'll stop there. Come back for the last part. He's crazy. King Von is crazy. It's mad, right? He really don't give a fuck. Like, he really don't care. So that's what I mean. Some people be like that, but then, like, not to get all psychiatrist and shit, but you saw a lot of his friends die quick when he was young. And I can't remember, did they say he was killing people before that? Or was it the first one as a retaliation? I can't remember. Nah, someone from over there side died, didn't it? And that started the beat. I don't know. But yeah, he's also like, he is actually funny. Like, as much as I'm watching this, and maybe people used to think he's funny and not know what he'd done or not really know. But even watching it, the boy's funny. You can't argue that he's not funny. Like, he's nuts. He's insane. I wouldn't want to be around him, to be fair. Like, I would not want to be around him. Like, just that type of person is just, I don't want that person around me. But he's funny, though. I'll give him that. He's funny. Funny. But yeah, anyway. We'll finish it later. Sweet.